It's tea time for
Good, Jordan, back in.
on 760 WJR. Live at Fox Hills Golf and Banquet Center in Plymouth. Presented by Rocket Mortgage and the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming to Detroit Golf Club June 29th through July 2nd. Now, here are your hosts, PGA professionals Jordan Young, Brian Cairns, Mike Fay, and WJR's own Sean Baligian.
So glad you could join us. Sunday night, we are at the beautiful Fox Hills on a beautiful day, I might add.
Afternoon.
I was going to say, BC,
I had a ski cap on this morning.
right on that note, we're almost, the way it crept up in the afternoon, like after the rain, we're almost getting to the type of weather you like. I think it topped out at 80 today.
80 and humid.
Yeah, so we're almost there.
Almost. 85 was perfect. Yep.
In the meantime, Jordan Young is in Vegas. Are you at triple digits yet, or is it still too early for that, Jordan?
No, it was about 72, 75 today, so not too bad out here.
It's colder there. Nice.
Wow.
It was nice. It was sunny,
Southwest.
no wind. Beautiful day.
Ooh,
Beautiful day.
Wow.
It's like Palm Desert.
What are you doing out there? Let's get that out of the way right now.
Last event of the Oxford National Pro-Am. So we're at South Shore. We're at Cascada and Spanish Trail. So yeah, again at the Bellagio. And the Golden Knights took a hard one on the chin last night. So everybody was a little cranky today.
They got their A double, you know
did
what?
they ever?
Yeah, there was a lot of Oilers jerseys around last night.
No kidding, really?
Yeah. And so yeah, it's good. A lot of people here, packed in Vegas right now. It's been crazy.
Yeah, you know what? For me, Jordan, I'm an off the strip guy. If I have my druthers, for whatever it's worth, you know what? I'll go
Red Rock. I'm up there.
Okay, I'll go down to Mandalay. I'll just go to the other side and just you guys all go be wacky and zany downtown.
Well, we went off campus last night, and
did you?
We went over to the Wynn with Team Wrexham, the soccer club, or footballers, as you say, and they had a nice little kickoff party, and their owner Ryan Reynolds and the guys there flew them out from.
Oh, no kidding!
They got promoted, right? They won that big game, so
yeah.
They've been out here for about 4 days and having a good time, and we know some of the handlers there, so they invited us over, and we spent an hour or two over there. It was a good time. It was a pretty cool place. Never been to the Wynn before. Pretty fancy.
By the way, just to let everybody know what is going on, there was an incredible list that came out that, like, when I saw this list, I was like, I cannot wait.
Incredible list.
That's the reason why I can't wait to talk to these guys about this list.
Stuff. It's a pile of stuff.
Just both of their reactions is why I could not wait to talk about this list. Because I think Jordan has probably played about 80% of these, and BC has played 107% of these courses. So
I played every one of them.
He read. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But Wells Fargo Championship, Wyndham Clark shot 19 under. Xander finishes
Wyndham's
second.
first victory.
Yep. Xander 4 strokes back. Harris English just behind that. It was funny. It was this was one of those weekends. It just seemed like the leaderboard was moving up and down. Our buddy Lashley was shooting well after the first couple days, then followed that up with a 71-75. He'll always have a place in our hearts around here. There's no doubt about that. Based on, of course, his performance at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which is not that far away when you think about it. I mean, 8 weeks from now, we'll be out there for Championship Sunday. A special 2-hour show, as always, will be out there. But this is what they call burying the lead in the business. Mike Parsons knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I don't even know, Jordan.
Burying the what?
The lead.
Oh, okay.
Jordan, golf.com came out with this. Was it a couple days ago? When exactly did this come out? Because I was out of town and I saw your message.
I don't know. I just shared it. I don't really read very well, so I just looked at this and shared. So, usual suspects on this list. Mix of private clubs, some public facilities. I think, when you asked us about this top 25 list, you do have to segregate. I don't know, like you call them tournament courses or clubs. I don't know. I mean, there's some on here. There's some on here that Yeah, I mean the obvious ones: Franklin Hills, great. Oakland Hills, great. Meadowbrook's up there at 7 and Orchard Lake at 8.
Hmm.
I don't see an Eagle Eye on here at all. I mentioned that online.
Ta-da!
You've got Barton Hills at 20.
20.
You've got Detroit Golf Club at 17. So I'm just kind of going through the country clubs. Indianwood Country Club, I think it's better days were 10 to 15, 20 years ago.
No, I don't think so. I
You
mean,
don't.
if we're talking about condition or bones,
Well, condition lately has not been great, but I tell you
No,
what,
it
it's a great golf course. It's a great golf course.
Yep.
Condition courses. Some of these in the top 10, I would question. But if you're a golf snob like BC, you're going to go by the design and the playability of the course, and then obviously the condition. And I'm kind of the same way. So
All right. So then I'm going to repeat the question, and I'm going to let you guys both explain it.
Let me define the parameters, which they, I got the parameters here with these knuckleheads. I will call them knuckleheads.
Okay.
Our focus is on design and architecture. We study the course, not the trappings around it. Okay, so based on that, they screwed up.
Okay. So
They
are you
really
gonna elaborate?
massively screwed up. Okay, we'll start there. Okay, you can go ahead, Jordan.
No, are you going to elaborate on that?
Yeah, because that makes no sense at all to me. If they did that, then the golf courses down at the bottom of the list would be in the top of the list. I know what this list is. This is another paid advertising list. That's all this is. That's the way it used to be until they went a different route. And now guess what? They've gone right back to a paid advertising list, 100%. The Loop at number 4, believe me, it's my home. It's where I like to go, but the Loop is not number 4 in the state of Michigan.
No.
Franklin Hills isn't, 2 or 3. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But, Belvedere is not 9 in the state. Look at these courses: Detroit Golf Course North, Lost Dunes, Point O' Woods, down at the bottom of the list. These are places that don't want anybody to know that they're there, first of all. So they're not paying for advertising. Wascawan, a really good golf course and a really, really fun layout. And it's a sleepy place. Nobody wants to know it. That should be in the top 10. No doubt.
No, that's a great. I mean, how many people even know where West Olive is? Like, I'm not being funny.
It's over there.
Yeah, right. It's over there. That's about all I know.
Right.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the top 10 before we go to a break, and I'm going to try to rephrase a question to both of you guys. You have a chance to play at any 3 courses in the state. Player's choice, your preference. BC and Jordan, save this for when we come back. Okay? Hate to put you on the spot, but I got to do it for the sake of having the conversation. There are 3 courses. Jeff Marcero, the almighty, the all-powerful, the all-knowing, says, boys, we're going to take a trip. I want to take BC to the 3 top places he wants to play in the state. I want to take Jordan Young to the 3 top places in the state. What would those places be? Hold those thoughts, because very quickly before we hit the break, number 10 on this list, again, courtesy of golf.com, Arcadia Bluffs, the South Course in Arcadia. 9, BC brought this up, Belvedere in Charlevoix. 8, Orchard Lake Country Club. 7, Meadowbrook Country Club out there in Northville. Bloomfield Hills Country Club comes in at 6. Franklin Hills Country Club comes in at 5. The Loop up in Roscommon at 4. Kingsley Club comes in at 3. Crystal Downs at 2. And the South Course at Oakland Hills, which I don't hear too many people complain about that course. Don't hear too many people complain about that course. Well, I think that might change when we come back. He's BC, Jordan Young in Vegas, of course. Mike Parsons, our engineer out here at Fox Hills. Glad you could join us. My name is Sean Baligian. This is Spin on Golf on 760 WJR.
I'm gonna go.
I gotta be careful, because obviously I like playing these places, and I don't
Yeah.
want people the golfers to hate me and say, "What the fuck are you doing? What the heck are you doing?" Yeah. So I gotta be careful, but I'm not putting Oakland Hills South number 1. I'm not doing it. No.
I would say name the bottom three you would not want to play.
It's first of all, it's a ball buster, and they went back to what what Ross tried to do as far as angular optics. Angular optics,
Sure.
is what Ross definitely didn't do that. I don't think that was more of a Seth Rayner angular optics, squared the bunkers, made them go away from you to make the hole look longer or make it look like a dog leg when it wasn't. So their angular optics are out. I mean, if you look at what Donald Ross did, like the Franklin Hills, in his earlier designs, you go back to like a Pinehurst when the greens were like this, you know, and then Ross kind of went like this with some of his greens, more like a Franklin Hills. I just don't see those angular bunkers being anywhere in Ross's forte. You know, I just don't see it.
No, I get it.
I mean, all the Ross courses I've played, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot in the South besides Seminole and maybe, you know, the Pinehurst places, but I just don't see that. It's right in front of you. And Oakland Hills is too much kind of blindish, bunkerish, angled stuff that, to me, it's trickery, and I don't know.
No, I get it.
Crystal Downs.
I really, really, really enjoy Crystal Downs. I think Crystal Downs is 1 or 2 in the state. That's a cool place. I mean, the whole, again, I'm more of a vibe guy. I like the vibe of the place. And the vibe of that place is, you know, I played there. I played a lot of the golf courses with some of them with Tom Dokes. So Tom would explain to me a totally different perspective than I ever thought before Doak explained how a golf hole is designed. They find 6 green locations, Sean. Like Mackenzie would have walked that property. You're talking 1920s. He's walking the property and laying this course out by foot.
That's great.
There's a natural green site. Boom, puts a stake in the ground. He'll walk another 150 yards, 200. Boom, there's another one. So they'll find 6 natural green sites, and then they'll design a golf course around that.
Gosh, that's awesome.
And
I'm sorry, that's cool.
they can't build them like that anymore.
No,
I mean, they can't. It's just amazing. It's like we got Topo, we got all this technology, and nobody can build a golf course like we can't get the property, number one, but I would argue that Shepherd's Hollow is one of the best properties in Southeast Michigan, and it's awful.
Yeah.
You know, you let that guy, Art Hills.
Welcome back. It's Spin on Golf on WJR, presented by Rocket Mortgage and the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming to Detroit Golf Club June 29th through July 2nd. Once again, here are PGA professionals Jordan Young, Brian Cairns, Mike Fay, and WJR's own Sean Baligian.
Well, as Mr. Big Boy said, yes, we are only 8 weeks away from, well, it's Detroit's major. How's that? We love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Rocket Mortgage Classic. And of course, more news will be coming out, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. And hopefully we can chat with Jason Langwell again. I heard Jason on this morning for a long segment with Mark Hollis, which was pretty cool to listen to. I happen to be in the car for that.
So update on the greens. Jordan asked me, someone blinking? Who's blinking?
That wasn't
No,
me, I swear.
sorry, that was me.
Okay. I talked to who's the golf pro out there yesterday. I just called the pro shop number and he answered, Josh. And Josh said, yeah, the greens were damaged, Roundup or some other thing. And said they're being reseeded, I think, this week, and they should be good by definitely by the Whistler.
Good.
So 11 and 12. So the Michigan Metal Play, which is there this week, the Pea Green Michigan Metal Play, they're playing the South exclusively.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Good,
what
good,
Langwell
good.
said too.
Yep.
Now, what's interesting about this is we say his name and he shall appear. Jeff Marcero is sending out a lot of texts, throwing out some of the courses that he likes. But before we went to the break, and I want to make something crystal clear when I say this, and I'm not going to speak for BC or Jordan, but I think in this case, I think I can. It's not like these guys dislike any of these courses. Everybody's got their personal preference, right? So there's no disrespect involved in this at all, you know, and I want to make that clear for the boys' behalf. But
No matter the tone of BC's voice.
What tone? Do I have a tone or a
I mean, he
slant?
doesn't really mean it.
Now,
This is conservative talk radio, isn't it?
Yeah,
Can I talk conservatively?
Yes, it
Ooh,
is.
thank
Yes,
you.
yes, it
Okay.
is. But you know what, Jordan? I'm going to start with you. Jeff Marcero says, Jordan, we are literally going to take a tour, a spin on golf tour. What 3 golf courses would you like to golf this week? We'll go to one day, one the day after that, the day after that. By the way, Marcero, being the great guy he is, he's going to pick up the tab for everything. He just found that
As
out.
long as there's no force carries, we're okay with Marcero.
Yes. But Jordan, if you had to do that, what 3 would you pick in the state?
Gee, I'm going to have to go with Crystal Downs first. Franklin Hills is definitely going to be on the list. I always love Franklin. It's in such great shape, and it's a great design. Greens are immaculate. The third one, I'm going to go with my feel-good course that's not on the list that I just really, really enjoy playing, and it's Groseal Country Club.
Yep. That's
So
not on the list,
those
that's
are
it.
my 3. I actually played it on Thursday, and they've made some great changes out there. They took some trees out. They're taking more out. The greens were awesome. New, bunkers. I just love the place. A lot of fun. Those are my 3.
Now, let me add to that. Talk about somebody who's done a lot with nothing. Groseal. Now, if Groseal was up here, best golf course in the area. It's unfortunately it's down there. It's a great golf course. I never really warmed up to it. I won some junior tournaments there, but you know what? It was overgrown. There's a lot of willows. But anyway, now that they've cleaned it out and you can see the topo and the green complexes are really visible from the fairway, it is there's a Donald Ross gem right there. I mean, it's awesome.
You were explaining that during the break. I mean, there are just certain things that you like and you know what Donald Ross brings to the table.
Right.
And for those who don't know, topo is topography.
Oh, topo.
Yes.
Yeah, topography, right. I'm sorry. I was
All right,
talking to Sean.
BC, could you pick 3?
I go Crystal number 1 by far. I go Indian Wood Old number 2, according to this list. Okay, I'm going on design and architecture.
Okay.
Wilfred Reed, 1928, which he did Fox Hills at that same time also, the classic. And then I go number 3. Where am I? I go to Kingsley.
Okay.
Kingsley. That was close for me. It's close.
Design, cool. He made an old style golf course today. 20 years ago. So he did a good job of making it feel old, feel that charm and that's way back setting, as you could say. But it's tough to do with modern architecture. They just don't present that. And Mike DeVries did a great job.
You know what's interesting? We've said this, Jordan. Excuse me, very quickly. We've said this since I started working on the show with you guys. I get it. A lot of people want to plan their exotic golf trips and everything. There are so many courses to see in this state that you legitimately don't need to. Now, a guy like you, BC, who's been everywhere, sure, something like that. And I know our buddy Dave Lorenz, if he's listening, is shaking his head going, yes, sir, you don't need to leave the state of Michigan.
No.
But all jokes aside, you don't need to. There's literally something for everybody.
Right. I was always taught as a kid, if you can't beat your competitors in Michigan, why would you leave and try to beat guys outside your state? And I kind of feel that same way. Now, the guys I play with in the wintertime down in Florida, I'm like, you guys got to come up. There's a couple groups of guys coming up to play for 3 weeks in northern Michigan. They're like, well, are we going to play the same golf course? I'm like, no, you're going to play a different golf course
every
for
day.
3 weeks.
Isn't that great?
You're like, wow, they can't be that good. I'm like, first of all, you're going to have 10 really good ones at Boyne, Forest Dunes. You go to Arcadia. Let's just keep going. Let's go up to Sweetgrass. Let's go up to Gray Walls. Let's play all these.
Now you're up to about 18.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm just tipping the iceberg. I haven't even named them all yet.
I was gonna. Is there a favorite for you guys in the UP?
Treetops.
I love the UP. I'm a UP guy all day. Is there a favorite up there?
I would say Boyne, the Boyne properties. I mean, whether
No,
it's the
UP.
high,
UP.
UP, the
Yeah,
UP.
UP.
Oh, we're going up. Actually, I've never played golf up there.
Really?
Never played golf in the UP.
He's played north of the UP, but he's
I
never
played north of the
That's true.
UP.
He has played
Way up. Like
way
Mr.
north. Is there one for you up there, BC?
I like Gray Walls.
Yeah.
Like again, it's out of a granite plate, whatever plant, what do you call that? But cool, quirky. You know, and Jordan's been overseas and played Scotland. They're quirky in their own way, and you kind of appreciate them. That the golf just shouldn't be just perfectly manicured, beat it down the middle, and then hit it on the green. You know, it's got to be some quirkiness to it. That's golf to me. You know.
Do they have gorse up there?
No, they have a lot of fescue though, but no gorse. Thank goodness.
Good.
That stuff's nasty.
Marcel, let me make sure. Marcel
Marcel's
added
chiming in again, yeah.
Gray Walls, UP's best, Sweetgrass underrated.
I mean,
Well,
does he want
without
to be
a
on the
doubt.
show or what? Like,
Yeah,
mean, come
I
on.
think so. Marcel, we got a seat open, right?
Yeah, that lazy butt can't get here. You know, what the heck?
Sweetgrass. He loves his sweetgrass up there.
Well, I mean, hey, that's a paid trip. I mean, I'd love it too if I went up there. You know, Pyatt won a tournament. They won it, whatever. They went up there and played their collegiate spring opener or fall opener up there, and he played up there, and they like it. You know,
That's a beauty about shooting up from our neck of the woods. I mean, you can go a couple hours, play one day at one place, go a couple hours the next day, play another course. You know, maybe make that little long drive to head deeper into the UP, because anybody who's been up there, as you know,
it's
BC,
driving.
you're driving.
Yeah.
You know, you think the funny thing is, you think like once you're across the bridge, you're like, oh, cool, I'm in the UP. Oh no, your adventure has just begun. I mean, that's the way it is if you're going to Marquette or going over to the Keweenaw Peninsula and all that. I mean, you are really driving if you go out that way. But I mean, that's the beauty of our state, and it's part of the reason why we do this show here, is to talk about things like this.
We're all set.
Yep.
All set.
Yep.
Marshall's got it all set up. Let's go. Sweetgrass, you know, Sage Run is up my alley. You're right, Jeff. And Mike DeVries' place up there at Gray Walls Marquette. Even the other golf course at Marquette Country Club, the old golf course, is kind of cool, quirky, old school, a little rough on the edges. I kind of like that. You know, like a Belvedere. Belvedere is cool. They reinvented that. You know, there is so much good golf in Michigan.
Well, I think
It's unbelievable.
The thing is with Belvedere, like, you've talked about Belvedere a ton, and I hadn't played it, and then I started playing it with you guys and played it about 6 or 7 times, and it's just the design. The design is super cool.
Yep.
But when we played it, it was always slow, and I don't mean
Right.
slow in the pace. I'm talking about the firmness. It was always long and kind of wet, and the grass was a little sticky. So to play that course, maybe when it's dry and fast later in the year, I think would be a totally different golf course, and play differently. But I thought the design, and you appreciate it the more and more you go play, especially those Donald Ross courses.
Well, the
and
wooden
Nicholas
clubhouse, you know,
Nicholas
wooden
courses
clubhouse.
are great too. I like Nicholas courses. Alistair
the Bear.
McKenzie. Yeah,
You
the
know, the
Bear's
Bear
not
is
even on this.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, another one. Where's the Bear? You know, the Bear, maybe the conditioning's gone down, but, you know, we're talking about the bones.
Yeah.
Guess we're out.
That's a great spot. It is. And boy, I'll tell you what, if you want some looks, if you're one of those people, you like the looks with a course, the surroundings, boy, it's pretty tough to beat that up there.
Cool
My
place, yeah.
gosh, taking a look at that bay. You never, ever
Bay
get
Harbor.
tired of it. Bay Harbor, absolutely.
Yeah.
So listen, when we come back, going to check in with what is going on in the LPGA. Some more talk about some of the famous and favorite courses in our area. Don't go anywhere. It is Spin on Golf on a Sunday night. We are just 8 weeks away from the Rocket Mortgage Classic Championship Sunday. We can't thank our friends at Rocket Mortgage enough for making sure that we do this show, and certainly we do our best to tell everybody about what we affectionately call Detroit's Major, right here on 760 WJR.
Many years ago,
So I was in the lounge last night, and they had a bunch of TVs, and they had a DJ going, and video DJ, and she played "Spin Me Round" from. Yeah, I videoed it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, Dead or Alive, right there.
Ugh.
Man, that would go back a ways.
How about they're playing this Life Plus International, the women?
Yeah, I was checking out the format. It's kind of cool, actually. The Australian girls won.
The Americans get waxed. I mean,
Minjee Lee, Hannah Green, Stephanie Kirisu, and Sarah Kemp won. They play three matches, and first one to 2 points wins.
well, Sweden won, didn't they?
I don't think so. Look
Looking
at
at it
the
now.
look at the
It's not finished yet. 2 up through 10.
leaderboard.
Look at the leaderboard, Minji and
Parsons, where I live, is one of those areas.
Oh yeah, they're not done. You're right. They're not done. They're playing right now.
Garden.
The finals is Australia against Thailand.
Weekends I DoorDash out that way. Like
Yeah.
Haggerty between like
Yep.
6 and 8 months.
Is the last match like 2 versus 2?
There's Beck Road. Just started construction.
Yes, they're playing right now. Like the Americans are playing.
Oh yeah, but they're playing in the semifinal.
Oh, it's a semifinal? Okay.
Yeah. Americans are playing Sweden and
Right.
Yeah.
And wow.
I came in
L
like the back way. Yeah. That adds 10 minutes, but
View, whatever Lillian View is.
Do you
Five
have the champions results, BC?
Oh no, I don't. Whoops. How about Bo? Ooh, 70.
I know.
7.
Jeez.
Well, that hurt. Top
I-
10 would have got him.
Yeah, he
Lock,
dropped
stock, and
big
barrel.
time.
Oof. Champions Tour. I got it right here.
I see Tim O'Neill played. He finished, I think, 10th or something.
Yeah, he's good. Just can't see him ever playing that. Oh, Stephen Ames. What a deviant.
Jeez.
He is a deviant, too. He's great. Man. Holy
Tours.
moly.
Tours.
That's pretty low. 20 under. Yeah, they played Sugarloaf. That's pretty good. 20 under, Amesy. Tanagawa. God dang. Sticker blanks. Oh.
I love it. I've always been that way.
Heck, Chris blanks. All right. He's got second life out there. Tim O'Neill, 10th. Well, if he wasn't exempt, he will be now next week.
It's Spin on Golf on WJR, presented by Rocket Mortgage and the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming to Detroit Golf Club June 29th through July 2nd. Once again, here are PGA professionals Jordan Young, Brian Cairns, Mike Fay, and WJR's own Sean Baligian.
All right, welcome back in. It is Spin on Golf on a Sunday night here, 760 WJR. Programming note, next week we are 6 to 7. The week after that, we are 6 to 8. And if you can't figure out why we're 6 to 8,
PGA.
yeah, exactly. I was going to say, come on, man, it's the PGA. So
Okay.
I'm glad that we can do those 2-hour shows. No doubt about that for the championship. As
Thank you,
we'll
Mr.
do.
Marcel.
Yeah, Marcel.
Marcel.
That was
Well,
all
we get a free
Marcel.
trip up north, too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good day. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Marcel.
good day. Thanks, Jeff.
Marcel was just writing checks left and right
Yep.
right now.
Right about Diddy.
Yeah, and then we'll have the 2-hour show as well when we're out at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. We were talking about this during the break. Now, normally, if you follow the show, Mike Fay is all about what's going on in the LPGA. What are your guys' thoughts on this tournament?
I think it's
have
kind of
no
cool.
clue. I think you got to let Jordan have this one.
Well, I mean, I don't know a lot about it. I can't even pronounce the name, but Hanawa Life Plus International Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's a team event. It's by country. I believe there's 8 countries: Sweden, Thailand, USA, Australia, Korea, China, Japan, and England. They do kind of a round robin type thing, like a one-on-one. They play 3 matches. They get points. They accrue points, and then right now they're down to the semifinals and the finals. So third place is between Sweden and the Americans, and the finals are between the Australians and Thailand.
Yep.
So there's a lot of vowels in those girls' names. Obviously, we know the Jatanagarns and Mike Fay's favorite, Tavatanovic and Thitkul. They're playing Kirisu, Hannah Green, Minji Lee, and I think it's Sarah Kemp. Is it Sarah?
Yep. Well, there's 2 individual matches and 1 better ball
2
match.
on 2.
Yes.
So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, just mix it up a little bit.
They do more you got to agree, they do more for their tour, for excitement for golf. They do more than any other golf tour in the world does to make it go. I mean, they work their their butts off. So I almost switched.
No,
again.
I was clapping.
They're
because
great.
BC, there's nothing wrong with that. I like it. Switch things up. Do some things
Right.
like that. Get the nationality.
Yeah, play the
involved.
2-person right up here, in Midland. Here in about
Yeah.
a month or so. Yeah, they do a phenomenal job of showing different ways to play golf,
And that's why I think this show, and not only because of a personal reason, but we have certainly been more, I don't know, accepting, embracing of the way that Liv does things. It's different. There's nothing wrong with different. There's absolutely nothing wrong with different. And I think, sometimes, you get the old bit stereotype of, well, this is the way we've always done it. No, and I'm glad that I work with a couple guys you guys are old school golfers who at least are willing to open your mind and say, okay, let's try this.
yeah,
Let's try that. Let's do something different.
5 years ago, I never would have said that.
Really?
No,
No
What
way.
changed for you?
no, Jordan knows me too well.
No,
It's
what changed for you?
I'm not going to say COVID, and I just thought it got too stodgy, and this Live definitely opened my mind or my eyes up, and I knew what was going on the PGA Tour, the insider, Dale, we don't want you in there, and I went through it at the Champions Tour. I'm an outsider king, but it was too much of an exclusive club where you couldn't break the ice. You couldn't. Now, yeah, I had a vested interest in the Live Tour, and I still do. But James wasn't ready to play the PGA Tour. He proved it, and he needed a place to play, and someone was going to pay him. I'm like, hey, here's a different avenue. What's wrong with this avenue? I personally don't see anything wrong with it now. And again, I've got a vested interest, but I think it's great, and I think there should be more of them. And it should be the point where we had a guy down in Latin America who didn't play great today, but he finished in the top 30, and Bo Brial, but he's not going to make his expenses finishing the top 30 down in Latin America.
Jordan, is it safe to say you've kind of had the same epiphany as BC has?
Yeah, I'm not getting paid, but yeah. But I mean, that aside, I think I would have said that BC would be far away from this 3 or 4 years ago because he's very traditional, like khaki pants and a navy top. But kudos to him for opening up and kind of accepting some change. Obviously he's vested interest, but I like when the girls do different stuff. I think the PGA Tour got a little stale, and I think the Champions Tour, you talk about good old boys that shut people out. I mean, Tim O'Neill that finished 10th on the Champions Tour this week. I didn't realize he was 50, but he's a rookie and he played pretty well. And he had to go through school, qualifying school, which a lot of people don't know. Like, hey, you're 50. Oh, you could go play on the senior tour. I'm like, yeah, right. I can't even play in Michigan. How am I going to go play on the toughest tour in the world? They don't realize how difficult it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's changed on that, BC, but what is there? 6 spots now?
5 spots every qualifying school, and then they do a reshuffle come. Might be the reshuffle after this week. And if you're a non-exempt player, category number 1, lifetime earnings, which is like $10.5 million right now.
You're talking Champions Tour.
Champions Tour. If you haven't made $10.5 million on the regular tour, you're not fully exempt right now on the Champions Tour. And a guy like Tim O'Neill did not make $10.5 million. So he went through Q school, got through Q school, but per the first 7 of 8 events, if he's not in the top 36, he's on the outside looking in, like Tom Gillis is right now.
Yeah,
it sucks, and he's got to go back to Monday qualifying.
But you look at the guys. I'm sorry, Sean. But
no, go ahead.
You look at the guys that are still playing and doing well. Like Jimenez is still playing great. He's second. Brett Quigley, Lee Jansen, Steve Stricker, Mayfair still playing. Longer, Triplett, Cheka, Montgomery, Els, Stankowski, Flesh, Appleby, Mediate. I mean, there's on and
same
on.
guys,
Darren Clark, Jeff.
Right,
Mager.
same guys we've been watching on TV for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Tom Gillis,
same guy.
Tom Gillis, T24.
Oh, Tommy made a nice check. Good for him.
Yeah. So good. I mean, it's not that easy. And you go down the list to see the guys that missed the cut, and you could, shouldn't say miss the cut, but Carlos Franco, Jason Bone, Nota Begay was playing, Duffy Waldorf, Chris DeMarco, Olin Brown, Scott McCarron, Rob Labritz. Retief Kuzin. These guys
2
aren't
US
bad,
Opens.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to see too many club pros in there, although there's one.
For the record, I used to love going to the tournament in Dearborn because those
it's
guys,
phenomenal.
those guys were so cool. To me, they were there. They were obviously taking it serious. I don't want to demean that, but it was a different vibe. It really was. It was a different vibe, and it was so many of the guys that for me, I grew up watching and everything. And they come by and shake hands and take a picture and stuff like that. It was a great event out there. I really miss that.
Mhm.
I would say that's changed to a point because those guys back then. You'd say Nicholas is the back end of that. They played for nothing.
Yeah.
They played golf because they loved to compete and they loved to play golf. They drove in their cars. My mentor drove in his car, drove to the next site with his wife and kept playing. It wasn't the money, it was the competition. And then they got this senior tour going, Arnie and the guys got the senior tour going, and they're like, oh my God, we're getting paid to do what we really love.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
of course they're in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great event.
Yep.
Speaking of the Live, of course, they're going to be in Tulsa next week. Cedar Ridge Country Club in Tulsa. Is it just me, fellas? And you guys are closer to it than I am, but a lot of the anti-Live rhetoric seems to be dissipating.
No.
Okay.
Let's say we don't get a
There
top
we go.
10 or a top 20 in the PGA.
Okay.
It's back.
Okay.
It's quieted down for a little bit, but come on. I'm going to talk about the media. I guess I'm kind of one of them. But I guess I'm going to talk about the media, but 97.8% of them are against this Live, and they're just waiting for something to pounce on.
Well, I think there's legitimacy there. No doubt.
But there's no doubt about it. So as soon as Phil opens his mouth, and I've seen this personally, they're going to be all over Phil. It's just the way it is. So no, it's quieted down for a spell after Augusta. They kind of proved it with Brooks and a couple of the guys playing really well, but it's still there.
Jordan, what's your take on that?
Let it develop. I'm done talking about it. I just don't. It's like whatever. Let's just see what happens here in the next year.
I feel the exact same way.
I don't care anymore.
It just seems to me like there isn't a lot of negative stories coming out about Live anymore, and so that's why part of me is sitting back, like you guys, thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna stay away. But as you said, BC, it's almost like, okay, just wait. There's gonna be something to pounce on soon.
Yeah, let's hang on.
Yeah,
but like I had a Live Tour event I had on out west when I was working with Dave Damesworth, and the guy said, "Oh, geez, yeah, figures you got one of those on." I'm like,
figures.
What does that mean? He goes, "What? Don't even get me started. What a bunch of idiots." I'm like, "Okay, uneducated dude."
The first question I would have had is, dude, do you know what you're about to get yourself into?
Yeah.
There's going to be a category 4 named BC coming your way in about 2 seconds.
Public service announcement. The Leafs just scored. Thank you very much.
All right, final segment of the show coming up on a Sunday night, including. Do I even have to say it? The punk of the week. We'll have that next here on Spit on Golf on a Sunday night. So glad you could join us. 760 WJR.
Well, the Tigers got their due today.
Matthews goes in like in the first 30 seconds and just rips one off the crossbar. 20 more seconds, they go in 2-on-1 again, and Bunting scores on a 2-on-1.
They gotta win this. You can't fall down 0-3.
That's the old Bobby Hall theory, right? You just shoot that. You go down there and you shoot right at his head. Right, that was Bobby Hall's theory. My first shot going right at his noggin.
Yep. Buzz the light tower.
If you can.
Yeah, Tiger game today. Jeez, oh Pete.
You know what? 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're playing better.
But they played some pretty bad teams.
Yes, they have.
They played
Yes,
bad teams.
yes,
But
they
they did what they should do. They should win those games. And okay, that's good to see. We got to mention that, Tigers. Okay, kudos to them.
Jordan, anything else you want to hit on?
maybe just some people
NCAA
need
regionals?
to start. Yeah, probably we need to mention NCAA regionals at Eagle Eye, of all
Coming up
places.
this week.
Crappy golf course, right?
Who wants to grab that? You want to grab it, Jordan? You want to grab it?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I mean, BC and I can touch, and then I want to just mention that a lot of people should start watching YouTube or whatever on the rules of golf.
Is that your POW?
No, I just think it's a public service announcement. Like,
okay, PSA.
a lot of rules have. Yeah, I'll just say that, a PSA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the POW. You're the PSA guy. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think that there's a lot of rules that have changed, and I think people just need to kind of know a few of the common ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I had 4 kids today. I'd ask them always the first thing I ask them, hey, let me ask you a question. If you did this, this, and this, how would you? Huh? What? I said, it's part of the game.
Wow.
You keep putting that wedge behind the ball. And next thing I know, I can see the whole back of the ball. I mean, that's improving your line, dude. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And I would say that a player that I know extremely well that I have a vested interest in says it's prevalent on every tour, improving the lie behind the ball. They don't put the club behind the ball. Oh, look, I got a good line now. Yeah, that's a good PSA.
What time am I out?
I'm gonna say 57. Let me double check the play.
We got tons of time. You gotta get Marshall to kind of tighten up these commercials a little bit so we have more time, right?
Hall's back in playing.
Who?
Justin Hall, defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
57-50.
All right, thank you.
So we've got the PGA Championship or the U.S. Open in 2 weeks.
Welcome back. It's Spin on Golf on WJR. Presented by Rocket Mortgage and the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming to Detroit Golf Club June 29th through July 2nd. Once again, here are PGA professionals Jordan Young, Brian Cairns, Mike Fay, and WJR's own Sean Baligian.
All right, so final segment of the show. A lot of things to get into. Not only do we have, as we tease, the POW, but we also have the PSA. Jordan's got a PSA, and we were like, yeah, that's a good idea, Jordan. Way to go, JY.
Yeah, I'm just trying to come out of my shell here, but
it'd be amazing if Mikey would have more than 2 minutes on the, his own little segment too. I mean, that'd really be bringing him
rule
out
of the week.
show. Rule of the week.
Yeah,
with
so
Mikey Fay.
He could do that.
Yeah.
So that's my deal. I mean, I've noticed lately with the rule changes and with a lot of the kids coming in and adults, because the adults are worse as far as thinking they know and they don't know. And I tell you, I don't know.
Yep.
But the kids are really getting, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but they have to be careful and protect themselves and the field when they're playing in events that they're getting the right ruling. There's not going to be top rules officials out on the golf course. A lot of places might have a rules official that's in charge of the event, but there might be college kids or some other rules parents out there that might not be fully qualified. I mean, it just depends on the event that you're at. If you go to college events, there's 4 or 5 guys, and then if you have an issue, you text or call. But just watch some YouTube videos. You go to usga.org or whatever, and figure some of these simple rules out, like a plugged lie in the rough. You don't play a ball from a plugged lie in the rough, the fairway, or anywhere. It's a drop. Just simple things, ground under repair drops. In BC, you talked about putting your club behind the ball and pushing the grass down. I mean, you can't do that. You can't stand on trees or twigs and all that stuff. I had 2 kids that were penalized some strokes for it wasn't a correct ruling, and it's a shame. So do yourself a favor, watch some of these rules on videos. It's not boring. You don't have to read. That's my first one. Now I'll let BC go to his punk of the week, but I've got a second one, which is probably pretty important too.
How about we save BC's Punk of the Week till last?
Okay,
That's
right.
kind of like the main course. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah, we'll give him the hammer. That's
Well,
okay. I mean, I'm okay with that.
All right, can I? Jordan, though, all jokes aside, it is amazing the things you can find on YouTube if people actually take the time.
Yep.
And I'm not being funny because I am sorry, it's not exactly golf, but I hope it hammers your point home. I am the least Mr. Fixer-Upper in the history of Mr. Fixer-Uppers. And these how-to videos on YouTube, I've fixed so much crap where I sit back and go, I can't believe I did that. And
They're
I mean,
great.
it's especially when look, golf is something you're passionate about. Go find that on YouTube. It's amazing some of the videos you can watch.
Well, be careful which videos for instruction you watch.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
Not-
But it's good for us, Jordan.
Oh,
You just keep watching those videos and just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll straighten you up.
Okay.
Yeah, not for instruction as much as rule changes and things like that. Certainly go see a PGA professional, no doubt.
So my second thing is parents, stop trying to overcoach your kids. I'm seeing it a lot lately. I don't know if it's the second wave of Earl Woods.
You just stole my thunder.
Now, it's okay. I didn't even know what you're going to talk about. But my whole point is here, you have to, I don't care what sport your son or daughter is playing, you have to let them fail. Failing is huge. You can learn so much from failing and not winning or making mistakes. If they don't do it on their own, they're never going to learn. Now, you can guide them a little bit along their journey, but let them do their own thing. So if you have a little one who drop them off at the course, let them go experiment on the putting green, let them go experiment on strategic fox, let them go experiment and self-explore in the short game area. Let them try stuff. I grew up on the range picking up golf balls with a sand wedge for 3 hours. That's the only thing I did. I didn't have a ball picker. I didn't have any of that stuff. That's how I learned to do a bunch of stuff. I messed around. Brian probably chipped around with a 58 or 56 for thousands of hours, just messing around when he was little. That's how you learn. You experiment, you try. It's okay to fail. Nobody's going to be perfect. If you watch the top 10 swings on the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, they're all different. It's okay.
Great advice, no doubt. By the way, NCAA regionals, we have about 4 minutes. Want to get you guys' thoughts on that before we go to the Punk of the Week.
Eagle Eye. Michigan State is playing. They are at large bid. So they are hosting and they're playing. And if you want to see some great golf, there'll be 6 locations across the country, and that's one of them. And the top 4 teams advance to finals.
Great stuff.
Yep.
All right, BC, you ready?
You know, these golf course analyzers who made this list, do these guys play golf? I mean, okay, good. I got a plug and play list that they gave me. I gotta play by this, and then I gotta plug in the point values, and then this course is good. Oh, let me throw this golf course in there. I don't think these guys play golf, and I don't think these guys have been around the state of Michigan to have a clue, an absolute zero clue. They just went down a list of the obvious ones and didn't walk on the golf course, didn't look at the shot values, didn't look at the architecture, and just went, yeah, that's number 1. Yeah, that's number 2. I would challenge any of those guys to say, you know what? You didn't go in the UP like Marcelo gave us. You didn't look at the best golf course in the state of Michigan. How could Point Old Woods be 19th in the state of Michigan?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Robert Trent Jones fan, but he did a pretty damn good job at Point Old Woods. That's a top 5 golf course in the state of Michigan, if I've ever seen one.
We're going to make our own list for next week.
Yeah, I mean, these panelists, what a joke. Those are my punks of the week this week.
BC making friends.
Yep.
Yes, we are a couple weeks away. PGA Championship. I know so many of us grew up. I remember plain as day John Daly winning that in 91. It was in August. I remember plain as day that happening. There was a lot of debate. Do we move it from August to May? I like the move personally. I really do. Yeah, I
Had to.
Yeah, I think it was a smart move then. I think it's a smart move now. But Oak Hill East, that's where it's going to be in a couple of weeks.
Golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, they restored it. Andrew Green restored it back to its glory when I think Curtis Strange won there. Tom Kite actually topped a forward in the water in front of number 6. It's now 495 over that creek back to its original glory. They took the lake away from 15 to par 3, restored it to just a simple down a Ross look, but they lowered the 18th green down a little bit to make it a little bit more playable. But it is a big boy, cool, old, and I think that's 1, 2, or 3 in the country, in my opinion.
Sounds like it's right up Kepka's alley.
It's a high cutter's paradise, yeah, no doubt about it. Sean McKeel won there, and so did the boy. Can't remember.
Is DJ going to show up this week?
They got to be top 100 in the top 100 in the world, and then they get at-large bids after that, and some DP guys, and then some Asian Tour guys, and some guys down under. But that's the best field in golf. And we had our National Club Pro Professional Championship last week. I was out there for Albuquerque. Great, top 20 club pros are playing, so it'll be an awesome event.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Byron Nelson next week. Of course, we will be here on Mother's Day. We have the 1-hour show, but obviously we always talk up the majors, give it a little extra juice, no doubt about that. Hey, thanks to Blake back at the station, Mike Parsons out here. Jordan, have a blast in Vegas, and, well, good luck to Maple Leaf.
Go
BC,
Leafs, go,
always
baby.
A pleasure for everybody else. I'm Sean Baligian. Until next week, thanks for watching and listening. Spin on Golf.
Go green.
Go white.